Once upon a time, there was a little elephant named Ronald. I'm sure you all know very well that all elephants are afraid of mice. And Ronald was very, very scared of them. And as you all know, mice are very, very cute. Kids! Can you even imagine how a mouse could be scary? I certainly can't. They have the tiniest teeth in the whole world. They have soft, furry bodies and are only as big as a finger. But Ronald couldn't control his fear. Sometimes we don't even know why we're afraid of certain things. Maybe when Ronald was little, a tiny mouse jumped out from behind a tree and startled him awake. Maybe it jumped in front of Ronald's face, and Ronald must have thought that the mouse was really big. Or maybe Ronald had a terrible nightmare about mice. These things happen all the time. For example, when we eat too much chocolate before bed, we have bad dreams. Maybe Ronald had eaten too much chocolate too. In fact, eating chocolate in bed was one of Ronald's favorite things to do. Anyway, Ronald was a 5-year-old elephant who had grown up, but he was still terribly afraid of mice. And because he was so scared of mice, he felt that the rest of his family must be just as afraid of them too. And because he thought it was really funny, he liked to pretend to scream, "Mice!" And he would scare his family and laugh.
Mice!
Ronald would scream and hide behind his mom, leaping a meter into the air. All the trees around would fall to the ground from the force of Ronald's jumping. You can't imagine how chaotic it would get. Then Ronald would hide behind a tree and start laughing. Ronald's mom was never happy about it. She wasn't really afraid of mice, but she knew that Ronald was terrified of them. So whenever Ronald would shout, "Mice!" his mom would think she needed to help him and save him from the mice. Ronald would hide behind his dad and shout,
Mice!
and his dad would leap a meter into the air and fall into the river. The river water would splash everywhere, leaving no water left for the fish. Ronald would hide behind a tree and laugh. His dad was never happy about it. Dad wasn't really afraid of mice, but he really disliked loud noises. Every time Ronald shouted, Dad's heart would race until he realized it was just Ronald pretending to scream. Ronald did this every day for a few months. He would shout, "Mice!" and scare everyone. But one day, when Ronald shouted, no one did anything, no one was scared. Well, maybe they didn't hear Ronald's voice. Ronald shouted again,
Mice!
but all the family members ignored him and went about their business. They had gotten so used to Ronald's shouting that it had become normal for them. To them, Ronald's scream was like the usual sounds of the forest birds. And then Ronald turned around and guess what he saw? A scary, furry mouse. Ronald screamed,
Eek!
and jumped up into a tree. The little mouse stood there, looking at him and scratching its head. The little mouse said,
"What's wrong? Didn't you call me yourself?"
The little mouse was very kind and quite confused. It looked very friendly and cute. Ronald felt that he had been mistaken to be afraid of it. Ronald said to the mouse,
Actually, yes, I guess I did call you.
and Ronald climbed down from the tree. Now Ronald still sometimes shouts,
Mice!
but when he does, the little mouse, who is now Ronald's friend, comes over so they can swing together. They scream and laugh together.
And that's our story. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time!